Welcome back to another semen retention video, gang. Can acupuncture help you work through this semen retention journey easier and help release some of these emotions and kind of lift some of the burden, the emotional burden of this process of semen retention? That is the question I'm out here to solve, gang. I am getting very close to 260 days on my semen retention streak after setting my challenge for myself late last year to do a full 365-day streak. So we're over 2/3 of the way there, and lately I have been, in the last month and a half, including acupuncture and some TCM, traditional Chinese medicine herbs, with my journey to see what that combination does. And it's been a really big breakthrough, guys. Just a really big breakthrough. And the lesson from today, I just got back from my 8th acupuncture session. I had acupuncture and then also the cupping done on my back. Again, you'll see like 8 purple spots. That helps with circulation and removing inflammation and working on the fascia a little bit. So I'm getting back from my 8th one, and my lesson on this one, guys, is balance. And you might want to listen up, because this is just in general, there's a valuable lesson here. Balance. Through a lot of my life, I've been the type where if I go all in on something, like I'll obsess over something, like I'll go, there might be a little bit of some addictive personality there. It's like I go all in on stuff. That's just kind of been how I've operated. And we're getting into diet a little bit more now, and how to support specific organs and eating for specific organs. And she was even saying, like, today, that every organ also has a color of food that feeds it and gives it chi, gives it energy, healing. For example, the spleen is yellow, the liver is green, the heart is red. Those are the colors of the foods that feed it. Like, how disconnected have we gotten, guys, that is a revelation for me. Like, that should just be common knowledge. In the same way that semen retention should be common knowledge, guys. It's like we're having to rediscover these basic truths, these basic principles that we should have been raised on, knowing this information, but we weren't. We had to go through life and hit rock bottom, and all of a sudden realize, like, no, I feel pretty disconnected. There's got to be more. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to do this. And that was a realization today. I'm like, okay, I've been working on cleaning up my diet in this process and getting better with that. But now I'm also thinking through, I'm like, interesting, maybe it is worth looking into the traditional Chinese medicine approach when it comes to what a healthy diet looks like. I'm curious, because Western society, Western culture has really dropped the ball when it comes to food and diets, and that's why they call it SAD, right? The standard American diet. It's sad. It's not happy. It's not usually life-giving. It's pretty sad. So that is the next thing that I'm thinking through, is like, okay, what does it look like to start to lean into this a little bit more, to get a little more intentional, feeding my organs with the proper colored foods, and see what impact that has. And the reason that I dove into that is because I've also realized throughout this process that my spleen chi is low. It is deficient. It has been. It's getting better now. It's improving. But it's been deficient. And that has had some pretty negative consequences. And then learning that, the spleen actually plays a big role in the health of the lungs. It's not just the lungs in and of themselves, and then the spleen governs digestion, and everything is combined, guys. Nothing is just separate. We don't have a part of our body that is just, oh, that's just that part of the body. It's not related to anything else. It's like it's an orchestra. It's all affecting each other and playing off of each other and feeding each other. Bringing value to each other. And again, guys, I'm just some dude on 260 days of semen retention, holding his nuts in, looking to improve his life. I'm not a doctor. I'm not in medicine or anything like that. So do your own research. But I view myself as a living experiment, a living science experiment. I'm going to keep testing things out of myself and see what works, what doesn't work, how I react, all that stuff. But everything is connected. It's more about balance. Like, okay, where am I out of balance? And maybe this is a good topic for you on semen retention, guys, because I think based on the last 8-9 months or whatever that I've been active in this community, there is a lot of indications of disbalance, unbalance, disharmony in the community, right? Because, guys, you're doing semen retention, you like this is by nature like storing up a ton of masculine energy, a ton of it. And it's easy then to lean like super hard into one view and one way of life. It's like, okay, while I do this semen retention, can I still find a way to stay balanced in my life views? And I'm not being like, oh, let's stay balanced and keep releasing. Now that would defeat the purpose of my semen retention streak. So that's not the angle that I'm coming from. But this idea of balance in life, where am I emotionally imbalanced or balanced? Is my diet or my habits balanced? Are they not balanced? And that really is the goal. Store up all this energy, but use it to create more balance in life. Something interesting, guys, that has happened in the last month and a half since I've started to do acupuncture. I've talked on this channel a lot about how I've had out-of-body experiences, a lot on this streak, like significantly more than ever before. And do you know what is wild? And by the way, they typically have happened around full moons, which we just had one yesterday in this whole process leading up to that. And I haven't had an out-of-body experience since starting acupuncture. I'm like, what is up with this? Because, guys, I'm not intentionally trying to do these. They would just happen during like sleep paralysis, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, what is going on here? Why would these begin to slow down and just stop after they happen so much? And I firmly believe that this has more to do with emotions and emotional trauma being released by the acupuncture. Because I will say, guys, I was a little more emotionally balanced through this full moon than I have been in the past ones. And I felt a little bit more in control and a little bit more just like still able to lock in. I still went through a lot again, especially emotionally on this one, but I was just a little more dialed in yet. And I'm like, I do think that this acupuncture has helped me work through emotions that may have been causing this out-of-body experience. And I only recognize that because I watched a podcast yesterday about this guy interviewing a woman who kind of got sucked into a cult and was kind of brainwashed and went through a lot of trauma and stuff like that. When she got back from it, like when she was able to get out for 2 weeks and like return home and see her family and stuff like that, she had this out-of-body experience. And at first she was correlating it to like, oh no, what they said was correct and this is like proof that it's helping me. But then after hearing them discuss some of the perspectives, they came to the conclusions like sometimes those out-of-body experiences are actually your body protecting like your soul, your spirit, your true self from all the trauma and shit that is stored up that your body needs to work through and release, and it will send you away to work on that stuff and like kind of protect you from all of that. I'm like, holy crap. I do wonder if that also is an element of those out-of-body experiences that I had been experiencing, that perhaps my body had gone through enough trauma that it was finally just like, bro, like we're gonna let you out of here for a little while we try to take care of stuff, because it's gonna be too much for you to potentially handle. I'm not sure yet. This is just me thinking out loud here. But it does resonate. It does make sense. So let me know if you have any thoughts or experience around that in the comments, because I am curious, and any resources or any knowledge or anything for me to jump into on that. But so that's been interesting, guys. So I will say, if you are feeling like the emotional burden is too much on semen retention, like too much is coming up. And by the way, most relapses from what I've experienced and seen is internal pressure, internal trauma, an internal state that you can't handle. So you go to numb it and release and distract yourself, all right? Acupuncture has sincerely been helping me release that and work through that in a much healthier way, much more balanced way. And I am feeling more balanced, guys. I'm feeling significantly more balanced since doing this. So yeah, I'm probably, I mean, I do 2 a week at this point, so I'm basically a month in. This was my 8th one. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm really optimistic about this, excited about this. Hopefully you guys find some value in this.